Hello guys, this is Geranium Battle, and I'm here commentating over a replay of my low-level beasts versus a Monarch deck. He starts off with discarding a Rodent Totem in order to special summon his Swap Frog, in order to ditch a Treeborn Frog from his deck. That's a pretty great first play for him. Pretty bad first play for me, because he gets a free Tribute Summon of whatever Monarch he wants. So what I do, I set my 2 Mystical Space Typhoons, so that way I know he's not going to set any back row. That way he thinks I'm playing back row, and he'll target those first. So he ends up hitting my MST with an MST, and then he ends up hitting my MST with a Caius as well. So it turns out that that was a pretty good play by me, and I keep my monster, which is awesome because now I get to destroy his Monarch in exchange for special summoning my Kalantosa. So right here, I'm a little bit fearful of him summoning another Monarch, so I start building up more defense. I have that compulsory evacuation device just in case. I'm just waiting for another Monarch, another Caius, or anything that could endanger me, and it turns out that he just goes for a regular Swap Frog ditch, so just setting up his grave even harder. And then I have the option to go for a level 7 Synchro there with my Goldfax in my hand and my Bubonic Vermin on the field, but I decide not to, and instead I set my Nimble Mamanga, and as of right now he's still just dumping cards from his deck with the Swap Frog, and keeping that Treeborn Frog out there as a small defense, so I'd have to attack with 2 monsters in order to deal any damage to him. And now he's going to special summon the 2 Ronin Totem and make a Gachi. Gachi will give him 400 attack and defense, because both attachments are on Gachi Gantetsu. And still just working with that Swap Frog, and now I have 2 plays I can make. I can either summon the Cerberell and make a Fabled Unicorn, or I can flip up the the Bubonic Vermin and summon the Goldfax and make a Voltic Bicorn. So I decided to go for the Fabled Unicorn because I'm hoping that he uses up enough cards in his hand next turn, he uses up 1 extra card somehow, and that he gets to the same number of cards as me and doesn't destroy me with a Monarch. Although, really, I'm also hoping that he targets the Fabled Unicorn so that I can keep my monster's effects when they get destroyed by battle. So as you can see, he has 3 cards to my 2, so my Fabled Unicorn does not negate his effects, and he gets banished by that Caius. And then he does attack into my Bubonic Vermin, and I'm perfectly fine with that because I get another Bubonic Vermin from my deck. So this is just great. Right now I get to flip summon the Bubonic Vermin, get another Bubonic Vermin, and then make a level 7 Synchro. However, I make a slight misplay. I decide that it's the best idea to attack into a Caius that has more attack than me. I did not realize that the Gachi still had any material left. So because the Gachi has 1 material, the Caius is actually 2600 attack to my 2500 attack. Thankfully, my opponent is a really good sport, so he let me redeclare my attack on his Gachi, which a lot of people would not have done. Anyway, we see a resummoning of that Treeborn Frog, and once again he's making another Gachi, and then he's actually not going to stop there, in fact. And I keep that compulsory evacuation device face down. It's going to play a better role later, but for right now I get that Nimble Mamanga effect, so I get 2 more Nimble Mamanga from my deck. It's a great rank 2 right there. Or I can make other plays with those Nimble Mamanga, and I draw into a Junk Synchron, which is just great. I get to normal summon that, special summon a level 2 beast, and then go into a Frozen Fitzgerald, because that's a Dark Tuner plus a non-tuner beast type monster. And that's going to be enough. Once I play my Closed Forest down there, my Voltic Bicorn is going to have much more attack than his Caius, and so I'm going to be able to deal some damage to him finally. As you can see, neither of us have actually dealt damage, but so far we have created sort of a standoff position. So first attack the Gachi in order to ditch a material, that way you get the most damage in, and then I get I have I think 9 monsters in my grave, so that's a nice boost to my Voltic Bicorn. And then off of the damage that I deal to his Caius, he does summon a Tragodia, and he is going to be able to summon that Ryza with his Treeborn Frog, and he's making that Trag a level 6, and he's hoping to XYZ summon with that level 6 Ryza and that level 6 Tragodia. He's making the Tragodia level 6 by targeting one of his Caiuses in his grave, and once he makes the level 6 XYZ, I am not going to want that to stay on the board at all. So I'm going to just compulsory evacuation that device, that thing, immediately. And yeah, looking at it, I do not want a 2900 attack strike bouncer on board, because that would negate my effects. It would make me take 1000 damage, and I wouldn't be able to keep any field presence, because that's my entire deck right there. And as you can see, now I'm in a much better position. I've got the Frozen Fitzgerald to just attack over his Gachi, and I have this Ponpoko, which I am going to summon and make a Sundayu, and I'm also going to, number 64, and then I'm also going to have a Tauntaun face down for later, just for any plays that I may want to make in the future. But as of right now, this Sundayu is 2000 attack, the token is 3500, and I've got a pretty decimating field. And then I also decide to flip up the Nimble Momonga, which is going to also be 2000 attack, so that way I'm going to be able to destroy all of his monsters and then deal him some damage, which is something that I need in this position, honestly. So now the Gachis are back down to 1800 defense each, and then I kill both of them with my 2000 attack monsters, and then I attack directly for 3500, and I'm looking in a pretty good position. But he draws the MST for my closed forest, so now my attack points are down to 1000 for my number 64 and my Nimble Momonga, and down to 2500 for my token, which isn't all that bad, but I'm just thinking forward to the future. He's going to be able to make a Gachi right here, and so I'm not going to be able to completely kill that Gachi, which is what I had hoped to do, but I do have enough to get rid of both of its attachments. However, I do not have enough plays in my hand and on my field in order to get rid of it completely and deal any extra damage, which is what the most optimal play would have been. Because since the Gachi keeps on there, he can use it as a tribute. He also has that Treeborn for a tribute, so I'm a little scared at this point, but I am safe behind my number 64, so I'm relatively sure that I can get over whatever he throws at me. And he ends up attacking my Nimble Momonga, giving me a little bit of extra life. I accidentally add the damage I'm supposed to take, and so there's a little bit of an argument over that, and then I realized that I am currently at way more life than I'm supposed to be. So okay, my turn. I draw into a closed forest, and that is going to make all my monsters absolutely huge. I then also get that Tauntaun effect. I get to pop his Storm Monarch, and I get to make another number 64. So now both of my number 64s are unable to be destroyed by card effects or by battle, and then that closed forest makes it super GG.